Spent time today reviewing surveillance video captured by this camera on a local business. Police are hoping something on that video will help them figure out what happened to ALEXIS Sharkey.
In the last few years, social media has taken the world by storm, and there are more and more people who become stars from their presence on different platforms.
From Instagram models who went missing, to YouTubers who stopped uploading, all the way to popular travel accounts whose stars were met with some fateful adventures. On today's top 10 list, we will be covering 10 social media stars who disappeared without a trace.
Coming in at number 10, ALEXIS Sharkey. ALEXIS Sharkey was an Instagram influencer and Monat mentor who moved to Houston, Texas in January of 2020. In November of last year, after a trip to Mexico, friends and family began to get worried when they hadn't heard from her. ALEXIS was officially reported missing on November 27th, and the last time she was seen was when she left her house after having an argument with her husband. Of course, people were searching and trying to figure out where ALEXIS was, but no one was able to locate her. Shortly after this, an employee from the city of Houston was driving and saw some feet sticking out of the bush. This worker, of course, called the authorities, and when they arrived on the scene, they were able to confirm that they had sadly found ALEXIS, but she had passed away. Since this discovery, there has been, of course, plenty of speculation around what may have happened. Authorities have been able to confirm her cause of death, and the case has gone from missing person case to an investigation and to search for the person who took ALEXIS's life. Many speculate her husband, but there hasn't been any proof of that to release to the public. Hopefully soon we will have the answers as to what really happened to ALEXIS so the family can receive the closure they deserve.
In our number 9 spot today, we have READYSETGLAMOUR. READYSETGLAMOUR was a beauty guru and YouTuber who totally disappeared from social media a few years ago. Her fans were already wondering where she went and what had happened to her, but when the entire channel closed, it only made people more worried. You guys know how these things go, and of course her fans began swirling rumors of what happened and where she went. I don't have any concrete answers, but there are two main theories. The first is that she felt as though she needed to take time off because she was apparently pregnant. This is of course totally reasonable that she would want to focus on her growing family, and maybe what was supposed to be a break just naturally turned into a decision to leave the spotlight entirely. The other theory is that she may have been going through a divorce at the time and needed to focus on herself. This is of course another perfectly reasonable explanation that we can definitely all understand, especially if she was also pregnant at the time. I wish I had a solid answer for you guys, but I also totally respect her privacy. Wherever she is, I hope she is doing well and that she is happy. Before I dive into this one, guys, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you're enjoying the video so far, because it really helps us out.
A person was a YouTuber who posted just a bunch of everyday videos that were kind of vlog style, many of which featured his very cute dog or other members of his family. His frequent uploads became quite a bit less frequent before he stopped posting altogether in late 2016. Because of the fact that there weren't any other social media linked to his account, his disappearance from the platform left a lot of people wondering what could have happened to him, as there were limited resources to figure that out. Some people speculated that he may have just decided he didn't want to make videos anymore, but some were worried something worse had happened, especially since one of his last videos was about how he thought a ghost was following him. Unfortunately, I don't have a concrete answer for what exactly happened, but the good news is that I am pretty sure I know where he went. It seems as though the YouTuber Matt Ophelia is a person. This is kind of weird considering the account of Matt Ophelia was made long before a person, but the two people on both accounts look very similar, which leads me to believe that this is the same person.
In our number 7 spot today, we have IWillBot. IWillBot was a YouTube account that featured the pianist Will Ting, and I know everyone's gonna be like, she said penis. And it basically just consisted of a ton of piano videos and covers. Will was well loved by his fans and subscribers, so they were rightfully all a little sad when his uploads became less frequent before they just stopped altogether in 2015. The good news for a while was that he continued to post on his Instagram, but even that account hasn't seen a post since 2018, so where could he have gone? I unfortunately am not really sure what exactly happened or where he went, but there is a lot of speculation. I think the most common theory, and the one that I'm hoping for, is that his regular life just got too busy to continue his social media presence, or perhaps he just lost his passion for creating content. Whatever really happened, wherever Will is, I hope that he is doing well.
Next up at number 6, we have Jessica Stein. Jessica Stein is an Instagram model from Australia who has left fans extremely worried. Jessica, who goes by the Instagram name Tula Vintage, stopped uploading after she posted it in January of 2020. Her final post, which came over a year ago, was to do with the Australian fires, which, as we now know, were just the beginning of an extremely tumultuous year. globally. Jessica was known for her photos of her traveling the world in beautiful designer clothes, and she was one of the first influencers who made her living solely from sponsored posting, so it was of course very strange when she stopped posting altogether. Still, in March of 2021, we haven't had an update from her or anyone in the family, which has left many people guessing. Jessica has a beautiful young daughter named Rumi who suffers from an extremely rare chromosome disorder. Apparently it's so rare that only 10 living people have ever been diagnosed with it because it usually causes a miscarriage before the baby can be born. Many people believe that Rumi and her health struggles might be the reason Jessica is off social media. It is entirely possible that maybe she just needed more time to focus on her daughter, and I think that is something we can all understand and appreciate. I hope one day Jessica gives us all an update so we can hear how both her and Rumi are doing, and I truly am wishing them all the best.
In our number 5 spot today we have Wang XIANGJUN. Wang was an influencer, environmentalist, and explorer who was dubbed as the Tibetan adventurer, but he was also well known as Glacier Bro. Wang first got into his travels after seeing a tourism video for a snow-capped mountain, and since then he visited tons and tons of glaciers where he took videos and photos, which he of course posted on his social media accounts so everyone could come on his journeys with him. Wang even spoke at the UN climate change conference a few years ago when he detailed his first-hand accounts of the quickly melting glaciers. On December 20th of 2020, Wang was exploring a glacial waterfall when he disappeared. Unfortunately, it seemed as though he must have fallen into the rushing icy water, where he most likely got trapped under a sheet of ice on the surface of the water. Wang was pretty quickly presumed dead because of the nature of his disappearance, but of course authorities and family and friends continued to search in hopes of some sort of closure. On March 18th, just a few days ago from the time we are filming this video, authorities ended up finding a body that they believe belongs to Wang. They have not yet confirmed the identity, but it is sadly most likely him. After Wang's disappearance, his brother posted on his social media accounts saying, "My brother lies forever in his favorite waterfall. For all of his life he was obsessed with glaciers and gave his life to the glaciers. This is the best resting place for him."
Alright, coming in at number 4 we have NIKKI Donnelly. NIKKI Donnelly was a woman from Toronto who was known for documenting her travels experiences on Instagram. Earlier this year, NIKKI was hiking a mountain trail just north of Vancouver when she went missing. NIKKI was known to go on these adventures by herself, so it wasn't unusual that she was alone when she disappeared. Before going missing, she had posted about reaching the summit of the mountain but was on her way back down where things went awry. NIKKI actually called a friend to explain that she was lost as she had strayed from the trail on her way down. This friend quickly contacted a search and rescue team, but NIKKI's call came at 3:20 p.m., which meant that nightfall was quickly approaching, and this happened in the winter, so of course with nighttime comes some bitterly cold Canadian weather and a lot of snow, which made the rescue team's night vision equipment less than efficient. Despite the rescue team's best efforts, NIKKI wasn't found until the next morning, and by that time she had unfortunately passed away. NIKKI is remembered as a very bright spirit and someone who was welcoming and warm to every person she encountered.
In our number 3 spot today we have Lim Ji-hyun. Lim was a North Korean soldier who risked her life to escape her country and live a free life. This was in 2014 and she was 23 at the time and ended up in Seoul, South Korea, where she began her social media career. She was funny and extremely likable in her videos, where she detailed both her past life along with her more current adventures. She was also known to speak out about her previous life and what living in North Korea was like for her. In April of 2017, on her 26th birthday, she wrote on her blog, "This is possibly the happiest birthday of my life. Thank you to all the fans who love me. You give me the courage to keep speaking out." Shortly after this day, Lim disappeared. Her social media accounts stopped seeing their frequent uploads, and at first her friends thought she had just gone on some kind of a shopping trip, but when she didn't return for quite some time, they contacted the authorities. Because of the nature of her escape from North Korea and the fact that she had a large platform where she discussed the issues that the country faced, the missing persons case was considered very serious. 3 months after her disappearance, however, Lim was seen in a video that was posted to a North Korean propaganda site that is run by the government. In the video, she looked incredibly different, and she tearfully explained that she had left South Korea on her own accord, and between this video and the 2 others that were posted, she called herself human garbage and begged for forgiveness from Kim Jong-un. This is obviously all extremely suspicious, and unfortunately Lim has not been heard from since, which has of course left many people wondering what really happened here.
Coming in at at number 2, Adriana Murrieta. In November of 2020, Instagram model Adriana Murrieta was reported missing by her family after she had flown to Guadalajara, Mexico. A search, of course, was quickly started, and it took a few days for the authorities to find anything. Eventually, however, authorities found Adriana, but she had very sadly passed away. The circumstances surrounding her death have been very suspicious from the get-go, and it was clear to authorities that foul play was definitely involved. There has been plenty of review of different surveillance cameras that she was caught on in an attempt to figure out what exactly happened to her, but as far as we know, there haven't been any charges laid in connection to this crime. The last time she was seen was when she was getting into the car that was picking her up from the airport after her flight. She apparently knew the driver of the vehicle, but I am not sure who this driver was or if they are a suspect. I hope one day we get to hear a conclusion of this story so that her family can receive closure, and because whoever committed this horrible crime most definitely needs to be brought to justice.
In our number 1 spot today, we have Karina Karaglanova. Karina was a Russian travel blogger who had a large Instagram following where she took her followers along with her on her very lavish adventures. In 2019, Karina's family reported her missing after they were unable to get a hold of her for quite some time. The landlord of Karina was contacted and the family asked to search her apartment. Eventually, however, they did locate the body of Karina, and it was the worst news that they never expected to receive. Unfortunately, someone had taken her life, and there are some pretty gruesome and horrifying details surrounding that. An investigation was immediately launched to figure out what exactly happened and who did this. While I'm not exactly sure what conclusion this story has, the last updates I was able to find came from 2019 when authorities released very little details about the prime suspect in the case. They never disclosed his identity, but they said he was a 33-year-old acquaintance who had grown jealous after learning Karina planned to go on a holiday with another man. I'm not sure if he ended up being arrested and charged with the crime or not, but I hope one day we get a solid conclusion to this story. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thank you so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Olivia Kozlowski.
And I'm Rachel Fisher. Thank you very much.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Shortly after, this employee for the city of Houston, I'm going to say that one more time. Shortly after this employee, what am I doing? Okay. Shortly after this employee of the city of Houston, what? It's fine. We're good. Just did. Okay. Alright.
99% chance that it's me.
I'm gonna run to this side and get my water.
Oh, hell yeah.